Hey, Wendell McKay coming to you again from Bathurst, New Brunswick. Anyway, what I'd talk to you about today is the question, why the questions I ask are important. Now, why would I say that the questions I ask are important? Well, because the questions we all ask are important. And what I mean by that is not just the questions you ask other people, it's the questions you ask yourself. For example, if you were, I'll give you a story of a gentleman. His name escapes me right now, but he was in the death camps in Auschwitz, or one of the death camps anyway, that the Nazi Germany's had back in the Second World War, where they came and they took this man and they took his entire family and they put them in the death camp. And this man had to endure, like they all did back then, uh, seeing loved ones die, his own son, seeing his own son's clothes on someone else because his son had been killed. And he could have done like many others and just, ask why me, or why are these things happening to me, or why are these things happening to us, and feeling sorry for himself. Instead, he asked the question, how can I escape? How can I get out of here? And he asked all his co-prisoners that he could talk to, and they all told him the same thing. They said, you're crazy. There is no escape. Quit thinking about it. You're just going to drive yourself insane. But he wouldn't accept that. So he asked himself, how can I escape? And he asked it with great intention. And how can I escape from here now? Not how can I survive here for years, but how can I get out of this situation now? And this situation seemed impossible. And then he saw, and this is sort of a gruesome picture, but you got to realize what they went through was very gruesome. He saw a pile of dead bodies that had been killed, fellow Jews, and they were stripped naked, and even the fillings in their teeth were taken out. Anything of any use was taken from them, and they were just thrown in a pile to be taken out and buried. So he thought, now he could have been just revulsed and said, why are they doing these horrible things? But instead, he's like, how can I use this to escape? So what he did is, the second he got a chance, when there was no one watching, he stripped naked and he dove into this pile of dead bodies and pretended to be dead. And the stench was unbearable, and he laid there, and when they threw him onto the truck, they loaded them onto the truck, and he almost got squished by other dead bodies, but he stayed there. Then they drove them outside the camp, and they dumped them in a big ditch. And at that time, he laid there, and he stayed there until after dark, when there was no sounds, no one around. Then he got up and he ran 25 miles to safety, okay? Because he asked himself the right question. And what I'm going to say to you is, why the questions I ask are important are the same reason as why the questions you ask are important. Is if we ask ourselves defeating or disempowering questions like why me, or why am I so unfortunate, or why do things always work out bad for me, nothing's ever going to get better. It's always going to get worse, because you're focusing on the negative, and it's always you're going to get what you focus on. So instead of asking, why me, ask questions like, how can I, right? Ask them of yourself, how can I, right? Walt Disney, when he was alive and he was making Disney World and making all these movies and that, he put it up, the question, and he asked the question of all the employees, how can we improve on this? What can we do to improve? Very empowering question, right? And then he took the answers that all the employees wrote down. They had a big whiteboard or whatever, and all these answers, and then he sifted through them, and he took the best answers. And we all know how successful Walt Disney was. I mean, there's Disney World and Disneyland, and there's Disney World or whatever over, I think in Japan, I think in Germany or somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where they all are, but anyway, goes without saying, we know how important or how successful Walt Disney was, and Disney is still going strong, the company, right? So what I want to, you know, let you know that where I got a lot of these things is the book I'm currently reading by Anthony Robbins. Is a very, very good book. Is How to Awaken the Giant Within. So remember, why the questions I ask are important is the same reasons the questions that you ask are important. If you ask the right questions, they empower you, they help you develop, they help you get better, they help you improve, they help you have more. If you ask the wrong questions, you just dig your hole deeper. Have a great day. Wendell McKay.